funny about my name. My mother's neighbor named me. Like, my mom didn't really come up with the name herself, but luckily my middle name is Victoria, and her name is Vicky. My mom's name is Vicky, so she kind of like threw that in as like something, you know, named after her. And my mom just wanted, I think she just wanted my name to start with a J, because my sister's name is Jamelia, and so Jamelia and Jessica kind of worked. And then my friends call me in college, they called me Jay. And a few people called me like J Tilly when I was in school too. I think B-Dot used to call me J Tilly. And then my homegirl Tia does as well, so that was cool. I mean, I hated for anybody to call me Jessie. It's like off limits. But, you know, Jess, J was like what I was called. So, I don't know. I think like, for sure, like, what's made me like who I am today is just my, what do you say, like my ability to like just try stuff. Like legit, I feel like I've just tried like everything. I've like traveled and like just gone places just to see. I really didn't have a lot of fear at all when I was like young. I think, and my father was very like, you know, adventurous, and he would like, we'd go to the mountains, go to the beach, and you know, just, you know, we'd play tennis and we'd do a whole bunch of different things. And my mom always put me in things that were creative and like artistic. When I was young, I used to take like dance and like tap and jazz and stuff like that. And, so I've always kind of like been in things that are creative, theater and stuff like that. So I've always just tried things just to see if they would work. And that comes with like, you know, failure and, you know, success. So you kind of, you know, feel your way through and see what works and what doesn't work. And I think that definitely defines who I am. A lot of my friends and family would say that I'm very like courageous and spontaneous, and I just try stuff. And you know, that usually kind of works. And I end up learning a lot and meeting a lot of people and changing my perspective, and I'm like continuously evolving. And you know, I think earlier you asked me am I the same person that I was in college? I'm like, for sure no. Like, I mean definitely some aspects about me, like my personality, but my mindset and like what I believe in or what I value has definitely changed. Charlotte for me was definitely like a really great place to grow up. I went to Kennedy Middle School. Oh my God. I used to get bullied in school. It was just a big mess. Like, because I didn't really fit in. Like, I was like, of course I had friends. I had some friends then, but like, there was a time, especially elementary going into middle school, like I didn't fit in with like the black girls, and I hate to say it that way, but like I didn't. Like, they used to be like, oh, you think you cute because you light skin and you got long hair, and you know, like there was a point even in elementary school, I went to Nations for Elementary, and I used to like hang with the white girls because I wasn't really getting any love from the black girls. I mean, of course, during that time too, you kind of learn about friendship and you learn about loyalty and you kind of learn about, you know, gossip and all kinds of stuff, right? Once I got to high school, like Olympic High School, it changed. I mean, probably part of the reason, like, the bullies went to a different school. So it was cool, but so I kind of went through that during the middle school time, so it was kind of like a transition. It was like, you know, you're trying to like come into yourself. And so when I think about Charlotte, I think about like how much fun we had. Every single summer I used to go and like visit my grandmother in Lumberton, North Carolina. Spend the entire summer with her, and she was great. She was just awesome, and she would always say, "Don't you go outside that much, you gonna catch a heat stroke, you know. She was just like the funniest thing. But I had a lot of freedom when I was in Lumberton because it was a small town. Everybody knew each other. We always go to church. We like sung in the choir and did all that stuff. But we would like ride our bikes and like be gone for hours. Because you know, when you were young, you used to just go outside and play and like come inside before the street lights came on, and like, you know, I even got into a neighborhood fight when I was young. It was a mess. This boy called me a bitch, and I had to like, we fought. And he still lives in here in Charlotte, and I haven't talked to him, but that was like the only fight that I ever got into. But anyway, it was just a lot of fun. My childhood was great. I'll have no complaints. I took a class, a summer program. It was with the Carolinas Actor Studio, and I was 17. It was actually with Mason. And after that class, I remember telling my mom, I was like, I want to go to school for acting. And she was like, how are you gonna make a living? Like, what do you mean you want to go to school for acting? That's not a secure career, you know? And I was just like, okay. I was very much influenced by my mom in that, and like she didn't agree. So I ended up going to, you know, Winston-Salem State for political science. And I wanted to go to school for like international affairs at the time, but I went for political science. And after that, I knew that I wanted to travel in some capacity because I had studied abroad in Spain. And I ended up getting accepted to graduate school for teaching English as a second language. So I lived in Vermont for like a year and a half, did the whole teaching thing, and that's how I ended up in New York. And what I found out was while I was teaching, I was like putting together these lesson plans that had to do with acting. Or, you know, like I would say, you know, I would have kids do a project, and I'd be like, you can act, you can do poetry, you can, you know, do a rap. Like I was trying to incorporate hip hop in my lesson plans. I was like, you can draw, you can do whatever. And I was thinking to myself, like, there's clearly something here where like I want to like include all these creative things, you know, in whatever I'm doing. And it wasn't until the end of the school year, I remember thinking like, I wasn't really sure if like teaching was for me. And this girl had wrote in my yearbook, you know, you have like a little yearbook and stuff like that, so you get people to sign, like teachers were signing your yearbook and stuff. And she writes, follow your bliss. I just knew that like I love the students. I thought they were awesome. Like they were from all different countries. I taught at Manhattan International Public High School. I love them. They're great, but like it's not what in my heart I knew that I should be doing. And it took me, even from that point, that was like 2007. It took me, you know what I mean, another 7 years to figure out that like I really needed to go towards acting. So that's kind of how I circled around, where I knew I had made it, where I realized something that I wanted to do, and then I had to go through another few years just to even muster up the courage to be like, I'm just gonna do it, because if not, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. I do get into a mindset though beforehand, like I always like want to make sure that I'm there to serve, right? I'm there to like make connections with people, not like networking connections, but just like connect with people on set and like be pleasant and just present, you know, like being on set is awesome. Honestly, like production crews are like the most laid back, chill people you could ever meet. So it's like, I think the only time that, you know, it wasn't that way, it was like when you're working with a big company like Ford, my Ford commercial, they're a little bit more, but like production people are always cool and just always easy to work with. So it's easy in that sense. But as far as like the courageous part of it, I'm pretty confident I can like get the job done. It's like I get into a zone. It's not I'm there to do a job, so it just happens. A lot of things that I learned in school that helps me prepare for it and to be able to like deliver. So it's like you do the work beforehand, and in the audition I have to act like I'm already on set. So once I can book it, it doesn't come hard. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I think that's an important piece. It's not like I'm magically like get it done. No, it's preparation beforehand. For me, it's like I just need God to tell me 2 or 3 times about different people. Just tell me the same thing, right? So God goes and he's like, I think I was in New York at the time, and I was telling him, I was just talking about like where I wanted to be, right? What I wanted to do. And I was complaining about like, God, I want to do this, or I want to do that, or I don't know how I'm going to do this, or I was just dissatisfied, right? And 2 different friends were like, yo, Jessica, I really think that you should take landmark education course. And I was like, what's that about? So he goes and he's like, it's like gets you from like where you want to be to where you are to where you really want to be in life. Went to the seminar course, and it's lots of people in the room. You know what I mean? It's like a weekend course, and you're like, God, what's gonna happen? And there's somebody on stage talking to you about life and transformation and like really changing your thinking, changing your story. So like people would come up to the mic and like they'd talk and they'd say, so they'd be like, okay, what's going on with you? Like, what's your persistent complaint in life? Like, what's going on? So you see this person go up and like tell the story about their life. What I learned in that weekend was it's so important for you to like change your story if things aren't going the way you want them to go. Like your words have so much power, like then I started to be like, oh, okay, if I just change my story about my life, or not about my life, but just like change what I want to happen. So basically I'm gonna just speak from possibility. I'm gonna just talk about what I want to do and what I want to accomplish versus from lack. Instead of being like, I can't do this, or I don't know how to do that, or these are my limitations, here are all my excuses. You realize that, wait a minute, if I just talk about like what I want to happen and I figure out, I just take action towards just doing that, and I talk to people about what I want to do, things work out. Because then once I started telling people I wanted to act, or I'm pursuing acting, things just came. Everybody's trying to get somewhere, and as long as we can like help each other in that whole process of like getting to where you want to go, it like works out,